everyone? It's your voice is coming out of the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of Your Daily Revolution, the podcast to help you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic: why haven't you defined what's necessary and required? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh, goal setting is so fun. We set these goals, whether it's New Year's, birthday, new week. And I work with a lot of people who set goals, outcomes, and they want something. They want to become better, lose weight, make more money, have greater lifestyle, have more freedom, get out of the rat race, buy a new home, buy a new car. Doesn't matter what it is, but most human beings have some type of goals. Whether they write them down or not, that's a whole nother story. But what I see the breakdown in achieving results, real results, is simply this. People will declare what they want. They will write it down. They will put the vision board up. They will put the new home, a picture. They'll do something, have their affirmations. And I'm sure you're the same way. Like, you've set goals before. You've set outcomes. You've written these things down. But where most people fall short is they don't define the necessary required actions. Now think about this for a moment. All right, let's just take John for a moment. We'll call him John. John hires a mentor, right, joins this mastermind, flies across the country to attend the mastermind, is part of the Facebook group, right, paid significant money for this coaching. He says, I want to make more money. Okay. Great. Join the club, John. But where John fails, where most people fail, is they don't define what's necessary and required. So what's necessary and required for John to make more money? Well, depends on what John's business is. Let's take Sally. Sally wants to lose 5 dress sizes and lose weight and get the body ready for the summertime so she can wear the bikini or the swimsuit. So she says, I want to lose weight. I want to be leaner. And she says all the right words. I am lean. I am healthy. But what does Sally fail to do? Write down what's necessary and required. One more. We got this MMA master who owns a mixed martial arts studio. And this master, we'll call him Frederico. And Frederico is like, I want to be the best in the state, best in my city. I want to be number one. Okay, great, fantastic. And we ask him why that matters. And he'll say, because my mom and my father and this. And then he goes on with his why and he gets emotional. Fantastic. Next step, define the NRAs. What's necessary and required to get this thing done? John, Sally, Frederico, none of these people ever define what's necessary and required. And if you don't define what's necessary and required, right, the specific day-to-day actions and benchmarks of what you actually have to do to get this thing done, you end up like most people who use the law of attraction, and I'm going to attract this into my life. You end up like most people who just kind of do something else other than what's required. See, brothers and sisters, if you want to create a life of prosperity, if you want to create a life of real results, if you want your marriage to wake up and level up, if you want your body to become a powerful weapon and tool to produce, if you want to be used as a conduit, as a messenger for God, if you want to have greater, more meaningful, rich, fulfilling relationships with your spouse and children, well, once you declare what you want, you've got to define what's required. See, every outcome has a list of necessary required actions. Every result has a list of necessary required actions, the NRAs. Some people call it do the freaking work, do the woo-woo work, or do your work. Keep chopping wood, but at the end of the day, if you haven't defined what's necessary and required for you to increase your income, for you to shed the fat, if you haven't written down and specifically detailed what is necessary and required to get this done, my brothers and sisters, you are kidding yourself. So stop kidding yourself and stop lying. So I'm going to share with you some of my NRAs in preparation for Kokoro 45, September 2016, right? The Seal Fit Juggernaut. I knew what was necessary and required is I needed to drop 40 pounds. Why? Well, really simple. To run the miles and to do the push-ups and to have that endurance, I couldn't be carrying around 40 pounds of fat. So 40 pounds to drop. Well, what was required to do that? I was going to have to shift my eating. I was going to have to get off of the sugar and the heavy carbs that I loved, right? I'm so in love with the carbs. I used to be pastas, breads, cookies, cheesecakes, chocolate cake from Costco, you name it, I was consuming it. Right? What was necessary and required for Kokoro? Well, I was going to have to learn how to run, like really run, become a runner, become an endurance person. What was necessary and required to do that? I was going to have to hire me a trainer. I was going to have to train consistently. And I could go on and on. I would have to strengthen my core. What's necessary to do that? Hundreds and thousands of sit-ups. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of minutes of planks. Hundreds and thousands of flutter kicks. I was going to have to work on my pull-ups and push-ups. And I just continue to write what's necessary and required. I would have to get mentally strong. I'd have to change my stories about my physical body and about endurance and about running, about capacity. What's necessary and required? I would have to get mentally tough to be able to do some really hard shit. Like really difficult. So as I mapped out the NRAs for Kokoro, I do the same thing for my business. What's necessary and required to have an awesome marriage with my wife, that we actually have real conversation, that we actually touch each other, that we stroke each other more than we stroke the phone, right? Last night I'm laying in bed and I'm reading and my wife looks at me, she said, hey love, are we good? I was like, yeah, babe, why do you ask that? And she's like, I just checking in. Now crazy, the day before I checked in with her and we talk. And we pray, and we laugh, and we joke, and we date. Like most marriages fail because people, number one, they don't even know what they want and why it matters. They get lost in raising kids. Shoot, I'll go hire me some lady to raise my kids if that's the case. But it's not what I want. What I want is a deep, fulfilling relationship. So what's required? Touch, love, kiss, communication, time. More time, together time away from home, like special getaways where we can go to Vegas, go to the beach. Well, we live here on the beach practically. But right, just get really clear about the NRAs. What's required to have a physical body of power? Work out, eating right, being consistent, changing your stories. What's the NRAs for increased income? Well, skill sets and mindsets, right? Real skill sets and mindsets. Marketing, sales, systems, automation, leadership, the ability to lead. So if you're the person who's declared what you've wanted and you're not hitting your goals, your outcomes, the next thing for you to do is really simple. Define the NRAs. So will you define the NRAs? What's required for you to have more spirituality in your life? What's required for you and what's required for one person may not be the NRAs for another because we all start at different places in our life, right? So where my business is will be significantly different from someone else's business. The guy who's doing 100 million, well, that's a significant difference for his NRAs versus my NRAs, from your NRAs. So brothers and sisters, if you haven't defined the NRA, you're not going to get what you want. So will you define what's necessary and required? That's a simple step, but because it's so simple to do, it's so simple to not do. And I know that for certainty, if you will define the NRAs, necessary required actions, and you commit to those things and do them, dude, there's no doubt you're going to get your goals. There's no doubt you can buy the new home. There's no doubt you can 10x your income. There's no doubt you can have a lifestyle that you love. There's no doubt you can impact the people you truly want to impact and live your life's calling and life's purpose. Define the NRAs. This is your boy, Satem Mangala, reminding you if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, It's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains, where your prized promised lands and possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.